Good morning, everybody.
Morning, Chris.
What up, Blake? How are you, man?
Hey, this got us going on YouTube, so
Perfecto.
we're good to go.
All right. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome
Happy
back to the
Friday.
Daily Profit Plan. Sweet. We got this going on Zoom and on YouTube. It is Fast Money Friday. Not sure how fast we're going to get in the markets, though. We got a slew of news at 10 o'clock. I'd like to kind of see how that plays in for the day. It should be priced in, but we haven't really had a lot of action all week as far as direction. So here is Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. We're talking a week that is essentially moved about 50 points to the upside. Literally 4 days of trading, we've had little to no direction outside of maybe one daily trading range. So what do I have marked here? Previous all-time highs and the Nvidia sell-off candle. Maybe some structure in here that we get a pullback to. I still think the market is either one trying to get back to all-time highs or higher. I think 7,000 is an attractive spot. Or two, we have a pullback first, whether it's using this area, maybe a bit of the inefficiency in here, but take a low, take a high. We'll figure it out. So direction maybe today, maybe it's next week with another full week of trading. News that's coming to the top of the hour is 10 o'clock U of M, University of Michigan sentiment and core PCE. So let's go to the calendar for today. News releases at 10 a.m. I'm going to go to Bloomberg for just today. And we had CAD news this morning at 8:30. This is labor news, employment change. Oh man, I never thought I'd see the day that we'd see more employment in Canada than we would in the US. Our ADP numbers, our non-farm numbers, looking a little bleak at this time. Here is the 10 o'clock news. Core PCE month over month, core PCE year over year, 2.9 is the previous, as well as forecasted. University of Michigan, we have sentiment expectations, 1 5-year inflation expectations. I want to see what the AAII did this week. What was that little headline there? Okay, Fortune magazine. Pandemic level bad news for jobs. Is it that bad? Yikes. All right. Okay, let's go AAII. If the Bears are still above 40, oh my gosh. Okay. Well, well, well. That is a pretty big shift. In the next 6 months, way more bullish than bearish. Interesting. So historical averages 37.5%, now up to 44.3. Neutral camp is reduced from 31 down to 25, and bears are right in line. So big drop in neutral. So this drops. I'm looking at historical average here. So we drop about 6-7%, where the neutral camp is now like, well, can't beat them, join them, jump into the party. Nothing like doing that at all-time highs, huh? So big jump by the bulls. 1 year bullish highs 45.9. I mean, the contrarian side of me is like, let's be a little cautious. This is a pretty big jump in bulls. So I think this is enough to maybe reward these late joiners like at the highs, but it does lead me to believe we're gonna have some type of 3, 5, 10% correction sooner than later if the bulls continue to kind of push this sentiment after being so bearish for so long and climbing this wall of worry and melting up and hitting all-time highs or retesting all-time highs. Now it's a big shift. And I said this weeks ago, I'm like, until the sentiment side becomes, you're climbing this wall of worry. Everyone that has been so bearish and so bearish and so bearish is all of a sudden like, screw it, throw in the towel. Now they're bullish, right? So I'm a little cautious. Again, just to be not trying to position at all-time highs. I've said that for several weeks now in waterfall income, just because we're within a couple percent of all-time highs. and markets seem to like hate it or seem like there's such uncertainty. I still go back to this recent look is how important this 65-50 zone is. We really should not do any damage below this. If the bears can take out these lows, there is a correction pattern in play, right? So this is either the head and shoulders where we measure that symmetry, or this might creep up to the tops. Okay. If it turns over at the highs, then we potentially have a double bottom, or sorry, double top pattern, which is still going to measure the same way. So, that potentially puts us back into a correction territory around like 6,100. It might overshoot to the 6,000 area, something like that. But 61.45, 61.50 previous all-time highs. Measure this move out. I mean, I'd still be a dip buyer in here, or at the very least, a premium seller. If we have the VIX going up, I'd be selling some premium all the way down here below these April lows. That's a pretty good plan for anybody. If you've got the cash and the dry powder to sell some premium. If we get a correction, VIX goes up into the high 20s again, maybe even to the 30s, depends on what this looks like. If this happens, selling premium below these lows is pretty safe income in my opinion. And if I took ownership, the difference is this was a 20% drop, right? The difference now is we'd be dropping 30%. So if I could take a discount 30% on the S&P before I take any assignment, that's a pretty good starting place. Because what does it take if we're down 30%? What's it take to get back to those highs? 40+%. So would you like to make 40% return on your capital over the next maybe 3 to 5 years? I think that's not bad for an index. Okay. Would there be any premium to sell? Of course. I've literally been doing it all year. All year. I have 111s. It's for my project options edge, we've been selling premium. I mean, anywhere between $1.50, $2.50, upwards of $4. So yeah, I mean, I've definitely collected some reasonable premium. Here is project options edge. We just closed out a nice winner on Tesla. That was $1,025. Closed it out for 912. Let's see here. Closed out IBIT 469. Closed out for 415. SPY. Here we go. $4 credit, and I'm doing a 390. Okay, what was our low on the SPY? Like 480. Low on the SPY was 482, and I have a put that's a 390. So yeah, I mean, if you're willing to balance out time and price, this was down 44.5% lower than current price, 46% from all-time highs. So yeah, I collected $4 premium. You can generate some income. It's there's time. This is a 12-month trade, but that's income. I'll stack up some trades like that. Pulled another one here on Google, Costco, Qs and SPYs. So yeah, I mean it's possible. When the VIX is up, I mean I'll take a look at it. If I went out 6 months, 12 months, and I'm pushing 40 to 50% discounts on an index, I think I'm pretty good to sell some premium. So yeah, there is. It may not be like thousands and thousands of dollars, but if I'm making $200 to $500 safely, and if I was willing to own it at like a 40 to 50% discount, I will do that all day. So anyway, food for thought. I hope that we don't limp in for the rest of the year. I hope that whatever data we have, today's not really going to be the starting point, but we need to watch and make sure that price is doing something of use, because we've had literally no direction this week outside of just a tiny little grind higher. Okay. So first full week of trading after the holidays. So we had our big sell-off on Nvidia. We had our Thanksgiving rally, and here we are just, right off the highs. And it might, stay in here for a bit. It might go slightly higher. A pullback, let's say the news today is a little disappointing. There's still resistance to become support. Okay. So I could still see this offering a bounce. We could drag this low, this high, look at a fib, find like 30 to 38%, try to find a bounce there, back to highs, if not higher. Okay. Grind is good at daily profit. Yes, it is for sure. David, what kind of service are you packing together there? Do you ever think you'll use a call iron condor for waterfall edge? You're merging like three classes in one, man. Call iron condor for waterfall edge. Are you meaning waterfall income? And do you mean like a call side trade, like I'm trying to call the top? We did that. We did that in September, and I think we did four or five of them. We got paid on all but one. One ended up being a loss. I rolled it a couple of times, ended up taking a loss. It would have been a winner had I rolled it once into the 17th, and this candle, the October 10th, I had an expiration on October 10th, and price needed to stay below 66.40. Why do I remember that? Because it all happened in one day. So I rolled it out to the 17th, and after we bottomed out here on the 10th, I ended up taking a loss for like $900 afterwards. So anyway, yeah. So we have done that in the past, but I mean, I still think there's like this weird upside risk in the market. I think this holiday season, it's like we get through the news. I have no idea if the market's going to take it good or bad. Um, the AI narrative doesn't seem to be falling apart at the seams. The market breadth is coming back a little bit. RSP, this is a pretty encouraging sign. We're still like just at these highs. If RSP starts making pushes through these highs, that is a good sign that market breadth is performing a little bit better than just being led by tech and AI and Mag 7. So I think that keeps the stability of the market in check. Uh, Mags is on its way back up. In fact, let me go ahead and set a chart alarm here at the highs on Mags for our Mag 7. Okay, and I'll set a chart alarm below this NVIDIA sell-off low as well, just to see where things are at. That obviously will dictate a big portion of the market. If we're hitting all-time highs, drags it higher, we take out this NVIDIA sell-off candle low, you know, I would say look out below. But RSP is good. And then if we go into the actual market breadth indicators, we now have 55% of stocks back above their 50-day moving average, which is a big improvement from 31%. Only about 31% of stocks were above the 50-day moving average. Now it's back up to 55. We have almost 60% of stocks in the S&P above their 200-day. Nasdaq is a little bit. It's comparable. 55% of Nasdaq stocks above the 50-day, 57% of stocks above the 200-day. Obviously, Nasdaq is less breadth, right? We only have 100 stocks to pick from, where we have 500 in the S&P. Did you know that Costco actually turned negative for the year? I thought that was a bit of a surprise. Costco is up to $1,075, has pulled back almost to $200, and is turned negative for the year. Doesn't really matter. We've got a nice trade running on Costco. Oops. For I think I'm up like $350 or something like that. Let's go Costco. Ratio spread out 42 days, 660 by 655, up $382, max profit 418, 99.5% chance. I'm just going to let it ride out. I'm not worried about this stock. Do I want to take assignment of Costco? Not really. Not at $655, but I could also manage the put side, like the naked put side at 655 and manage it. I got in this trade for 445. If I want to close it out for like $9 or $13, that'd be a manageable loss, but I don't think we're going to turn, $400 into a loser. And then I went even lower and out further, and this one's worth $250. So I do think there's going to be some type of split with that price. I mean, Costco at $895. I wouldn't be surprised if we see like a 10-to-1 split at some point. I'm not really sure, to be honest. I mean, Costco membership sales still really strong. I mean, maybe people have peeled back a little bit. I'm not sure what the latest. Let me see. Wonder if we'll Chat GPT can summarize, anything from. Well, we have earnings. We had what? Oh, we have earnings next week. Okay. Um, let's see. See if I can. Let's see what we have here. Is it a candidate? Um, it didn't pop up in the go zone yesterday. We've had some direction for the last couple of months, so it's been making lower highs and lower lows. I'd like to see a bit more of a pinch out of it if we can. I would think a lot of it is valuation. If we go here, we go Costco here. I mean, Walmart valuations are quite high. Costco valuations are quite high. I mean, earnings are forecast to grow. Yes. Insider selling. Okay, fine. Price to earnings. I mean, we're talking about, I know it's not a grocery store. Costco is way more than that, but 49 times earnings is pretty crazy. Walmart, 30 to 40 times earnings. It's like high as it's ever been. So I don't love this. Overvalued essentially is what we're doing, is we're just maybe reverting, right? Coming back to more fair market value. So could that happen? Sure. But if I could own Costco in the 600s, there's value there. Is there a dividend on this? Not really. 0.58%, nothing to get excited about. So we have price to perfection with valuation. They're getting, valuation compression. I also think the stock price it's expensive. So, I mean, the typical retail flows might be fractional at best. I don't think a lot of people are throwing, 100 shares around on Costco. I mean, it's more expensive than the S&P for crying out loud. Um, Sales traffic momentum still good, but slowing at margin. Let's see here. Solid comp sales, big e-commerce growth. I'm sure they had some decent Black Friday numbers. Investors are reacting to deceleration, especially in the U.S. They've also had a big tariff story where they're trying to, I don't know if they're trying to sue Washington, right? Sue the White House for tariff stuff. Take profit at all-time highs, rotation. I'm sure became a little bit overweight just on the management side. I mean, we've had a pretty good run for the last 3 years. I mean, here's 2022. Costco is a $500 stock. It doubled. You're talking about like a grocery store that has a 0.36 beta that has doubled. So, let's say somebody had like a 2% allocation to Costco. Well, now that 2% has grown to 4% or more. It's typical like profit taking and rotation. I could see that. Technical damage, yep. So we're below some crossover. I'm getting a summary here on Chat GPT. Insider selling spooking some investors. Got the death cross with a 50 and the 200. That's happened. All right, we've got earnings on December 11th. Monthly comp traffic trend, slowdown narrative, and normalization of price to earnings, which is just an earnings compression. So, I mean, it's not getting crushed. It's just, a slow leak lower. It's down about 17% from the highs. Take a look at Walmart. Wow. Kudos to Walmart, man. I mean, Snowflake looks great. Price to earnings, price to perfection. It's like it's never been this high. Fair. But I'd say resilient. I mean, your higher end consumers are now shopping at Walmart. Okay, your luxury brands are still getting bumps. Yeah, Walmart's just continue to be defensive, but also a solid, steady retailer. Crazy. What's your prompt? I just typed in, help me understand why cost, as in COST, Costco stock price has been falling since recent all time highs. So here's the price perfection, sales traffic, all time high profit taking, rotation, technical damage, and selling pressure, insider selling, macro sensitivity rates, and defensive premium. Yeah. So, what's I mean, look at the chart. I'd still like I mean, I like Costco to be cheaper. Just that's me being selfish. If I want to own shares, like make it cheaper. Take this recent chunk from 2022. You can go back to COVID if you want to. You can go back to 2018. It's like there's just been big pushes, pullbacks, big pushes, pullbacks. Once we broke out of here, I mean, I think we just take a low to a high and just look at where this thing could settle. 38%, 50%. I mean, I'd love some 50%, between 50 and 61%. If the market's going to come here, if we're going to come 50 to 61%, that's 742 down to 663. If I'm going to reestablish a position, how about a long-term outer trend line as well as some, Fibonacci numbers or retracement numbers and see if we can reestablish a position. And then from there, if it's down, I don't know, 30 or 40%, it'd be down 30% there, 38%. It's like, I'd love that. 30 plus percent, you get like a 50% upside on this thing. Yeah, there'd be 62% upside if we come back to the 61% fib. It's not a bad stock to have in the portfolio. Utilities are falling. We'll be able to suggest good stocks for long-term buy and hold. Yeah, actually, let me find something here. So I posted a watch list yesterday. I want to spend some more time in this afternoon during my YouTube session, right here. So I'll do some filtering. I'll look at certain staples. We can do some screens, or I can run a screener. Um, anything that looks fundamentally healthy. There's a few ways to do it. I can use my this is simply Wall Street that I have. You can use FinViz, which is free. Um, I mean, are you looking for utilities? Yeah, I know it's been a busy week, man. I've got like yesterday, Tanuki Trade. I had a meeting with Tanuki Trade. They are wanting to make me an ambassador, so I'll be doing some more content for them through the week, and um, also there's a startup that I'm tag teaming with in 2026. So we've been doing some stuff behind the scenes. So anyway, it's just been busy. I'm also doing a lot of work on the income grid and spent some time with the team yesterday trying to get the tool worked out the way I want, the visuals on it, continuing to get the testing. I'm doing 5 years of testing, which to me is if we have survived anything in a strategy from 2020 to now, you've seen very different markets in those 5 years. 2020 and 2025 have some similarities with one big crash and then a huge melt up. COVID, the 2020 crash lasted all the way until late 2021. 2022 was a legitimate 10-month, bear market, higher, lower highs and higher lows, lower highs and lower lows. Yeah. 10-month bear market. Called a recession, but apparently it wasn't. Rolling recession, says the economists. 2023, 2024, decent bull markets, but not without some flashes of uncertainty. We had pullbacks into 2023 for 10 plus percent. We had pullbacks in 2024 of 5 and 10%, 6%. 2025, obviously, we had our Liberation Day drama, 20 plus percent peak to trough, 2 to 3% dips and pullbacks. We just saw, single day sell offs of 3 plus percent. So those were pretty wild days. Anyway, that's why I've been on YouTube in the afternoons. All right. VIX, recent high on VIX today at 16.19. If you remember me saying this in the very beginning of today's session, our news is at 10 o'clock. So I will look at prices today. Okay. Plus or minus on the day. We're looking at like a plus 30.5. Okay. Plus 30.5. I would suspect some volatility today. And again, volatility may not be direction, but if the market's able to go up or down 30 plus points, so I'm going to just keep this in mind. 30.5 is like our pre. Okay, so our pre-market plus minus is 30.50. We'll find our deltas this morning. We've got the markets coming out in about 1 minute. And gamma's a little bit wider. Make sure this is only on the 0 DTS. All right, it's only 0. Good. Okay, so most of it is to the upside. Positive gamma above 68.45. We're looking at a tiny gap open today with futures up about 0.12%. 68.80. If I'm selling calls, I'd like it to be above 68.80. We're gapping right here at the open. Ideally, I'd like to be above 6,900. And we have news coming at the top of the hour. So plus or minus 30.5. It's going to change. We're at 27, plus or minus. So 69.20. Not a bad spot to start the day. It's an 11 delta. 68.05. Oh my gosh, dude. I mean, this is way out of the money for right now, but we'd have to move 70 points to the downside or 45 points to the upside. You see, this is 11 delta, 11 delta. I'm going to go for $1 today. So I'll put in the pending order. This might get filled through the 10 o'clock news. We will see. I'll get this in for a daily profit play. Okay, so penny, it's trading at 60 cents right now. Like it's not a high probability getting filled right now unless we have some serious direction. And I'll get our VIX top and bottom as well. Today is the 5th. Okay, so I'm going low delta this morning and 69.20. So it's quite a ways up there right now. This might have to change, like, maybe even after the news, I see what, 10, 11 delta looks like. Let me get my VIX. Big retreat on the VIX. 16.19 is the recent high this morning. I'm going to use that instead of going real VIX at 15.69 just to be a little bit safer. So that's just over 1%, 16.19. So about a 1.01% move. Let me take a screenshot from yesterday. Very sideways price action. Okay, ATR tracker. Chop continues for the week, heading into Friday's news. Okay. Close yesterday was around 57, 68.57. All right, now let's shift this to 6857. VIX reading about 1.01. I'll take the gap higher. Looking at about a 69.37 high. 16.19. Which I know the VIX is lower, but I'm going to take this little spike up at 16.19. Okay, and then take the close from yesterday. If the VIX goes up, and I'm looking at the 1.01, 67.87. Okay. So could I do like a 35 by 40 kind of a pin price here? So 35, 40 strikes. That'd be a broken wing call fly for $1. and put fly. If the VIX jumps, I've got to change it. Let me go a little bit lower, like the 67.80 or so. 67. I go 80. Something like that. I'll move this down if the VIX gets above 16.19. I'll move this down. Put this at a buck. Okay. Okay, just putting this in Telegram for members. So call side, broken butterfly, calls. 6935, 6940, 6950. Okay, trades are in. By the way, today at 1:30 p.m., I'll be hosting a masterclass for daily profit play. We had a 2-day pinch point workshop, pinch point scanner workshop, had some trades put in. Those were added into the tracker and Telegram yesterday for pinch point members. Daily profit play with some new peeps coming in this week. I'm going to have a 1:30 p.m. class today, and we'll spend about 60 to 90 minutes reviewing current strategy, where we're at, core strategy, as well as these defense trades that I put in. The defense trades don't get filled very often, but when they do, we're like literally calling the top and bottom based on some pretty reliable, data every single day, which is current volatility, expected market moves, ATRs, things like that. They've helped us call some pretty good levels where we're not going to place defensive trades and see the top broken or the bottom broken. That's the whole point. Okay. Type in $SPX there, Pete. Yep. So if you're using Schwab, you can go Thinkorswim Web. Every Schwab account is going to be traded either in Schwab web platform. So if you go Schwab Web, schwab.com, or you go Thinkorswim Web, I'll log in here. I'll log into both. Let me go. Okay. So if you're you can go SPX and Thinkorswim. There's your SPX ticker. So if you have a Schwab account, use Thinkorswim Web. Schwab owns Thinkorswim. Okay. So you type in SPX and get the ticker here. Get your options chain for SPX. If you're in Schwab and you want to use the web platform, trade options or chains, and then type in $SPX. And there's your S&P index. There you go. So now you can build out your trade. Calls and puts, put in all the strikes you want. Okay. News at 10, we have University of Michigan sentiment, inflation expectations, as well as core PCE. If I'm not mistaken, core PCE is usually an 8:30 press release, and now it's going to be 10 a.m., which I find, it is what it is. I don't know what price is going to do. Market makers, their job is to get this stuff priced in. So even the plus minus 30.5 in the morning, 27 that we're showing right now, this should include the news. Okay. Could there be more volatility? Yeah, of course. I mean, we could have some unexpected movement, right? Up or down. But my call side is 20 by 25. My put side is an 8. It's like My deltas have gone down a little bit. Um, I mean, this is trading for, it's like it was showing like 50 to 55 cents this morning. I'm way out of the money. Okay. But if we get a decent push directionally, let's say we get like a quick 20 or 30 points, which is going to be the entire market maker move in, maybe the first 15 minutes of a news release. If that happens, because we've had little to no direction this entire week. So I'm just saying, I'm trying to be a little bit more um, like brace for volatility, brace for some cushion today. I still think the market makers could do their job and keep things within, 30 points in the day from the open, but just want to pay attention. Okay, so we're getting some jumping around here. Chart alarm just went off. Oh, natural gas crossing 1650. Sweet. That should be looking better. Should have some call side UNG looking better now. There we go. Up about 2,800 bucks on some UNG. I just have a diagonal spread that's out. This is out to 2027. I'm probably just going to take profit. If this thing gets up into the 20s, I'm probably just taking profit on natural gas. So I'd like to, sell some premium, but it'd have to be above 20 for me to sell like a, weekly call against it. Otherwise, I just bought a deep in the money call, trying to get it back to 20 bucks and turn this thing for, like close to 100%. All right. Anyway, here we go. 385 credit. Nope. Not sure how you're going to get 385 credit with the trades that I posted so far. Double check your sells and buys, double check your calls and puts. The first order I put in for daily profit play should be a pending order at $1. That's a 5 wide. Didn't get filled. I'm still waiting. And then the defense trades with the 16.19 VIX is up to the 69.40 strike and down to the 67.80 strike. Okay. Lisa, we typically get these trades filled most every day. These trades today, I mean, again, we get these trades filled almost every single day. We've taken 540 trades in the last year. So we're plenty active. We're on trade 533 as of yesterday. Yesterday was a win. You could have held that trade all day yesterday for full profit. You could have held the trade on Tuesday for full profit. You could have held the trade Monday for full profit. So, not that we do that. That's not what I'm teaching. Like, I want to take a decent chunk of the profit that we can collect each and every morning. But we've got a nice little streak running. I'm trying to think for the last how many trades here. Let's see. So the last loss that I took, let me go. This goes back to September. I'm going to go September to now. September to now with losses and winners. I'm up $5,978. It's not bad. So September, October, November, 3 months of trading, making anywhere between 50 to 100 bucks a day, almost $6,000. Plenty active. We talked about this week, David. I mean, some of the trades that were at risk with the December 19th expiration, we're just going to see if price gets a directional push. Some of them are sitting right in the middle of those combo trades. I thought there was a class this morning where you're in the live session this morning, Jerry, but the class is going to be this afternoon at 1:30. So I'm running a master class at 1:30 today. So for teaching, right? You come in raw, you're coming into a trading session. It's pretty intense. I'm pushing buttons. I'm saying things that you might not understand. That's okay. It's not to, talk over anybody or intimidate you. It's to say, look, this is a trading session. This is why we teach the session at 1:30 p.m. today. So we have a master class to get you up to speed with, how we approach this strategy each and every morning. Okay. That's correct, Alan. Yep. Okay. Yep. And another thing, I see Lisa's comment here. And again, if you want to keep the chat open for everybody, post the message to everybody. If you don't mind sharing, like, I like the chat to be open so we can all, build this little community. We got about 200 plus members that join every single day. Lisa says, just nervous first day. I was here yesterday, didn't get the alert. got that worked out, watched lots of master classes, diving in. It's great. I mean, that's the point. Like, I have master classes in your classroom. I have um, plenty of education like built in. So if I never taught the class live, you have tools, resources, education to go from start to finish and come into my trading sessions to be ready to trade. But I'll do it today, right? I'll do it today at 1:30. It's the most updated strategy in the last 14 months of doing this stuff. I've been trading zero DT literally for 3 years. And to me, I think this is the most reliable way to do it, where you can basically have some action every single day and manage risk as well as expect profits, 9 out of 10 times. That's what we do. Okay. But I'm excited to hear. Number one, you're here, you're in the sessions. Jump into the masterclass this afternoon, and once we go through a masterclass together, or once you review a masterclass, and it's like, oh, that's what the strategy is. We do that every single morning, like clockwork. Yes. So once you get the core strategy, you can do it every day. Okay. What is my caution today? No caution. I'm doing the same trade that I've been taking the last like couple of months, right? I'm focusing on I'm going lower deltas. I'm giving price a little bit more room to breathe. I know we have news coming out in 15 minutes. I'm curious if we get a pop in price action, maybe some direction. We've had literally 4 days of nothing this week. And so I thought, well, it's possible that Friday maybe gives us a little bit of direction. Okay. Let's see here. Yep. Same thing here. Moving everyone, get in the groove, and it's great. Yep. Is there a way to speed up the masterclass replay? I think there is. Not that you want to hear me talk at 1.5 speed, but I think there is. I don't know if I know on Vimeo, I think we put a lot of the videos in because of a Vimeo playlist. I think you can. Let me go to one-click trading here. This logged me back. All right, log back in. Give me a second. From the Czech Republic. Nice. Okay, let's go to overview. Go into my daily profit play. So this is the daily profit play classroom. Today's live session that we do at 1:30 p.m. It will be under masterclass recordings. Okay, so once it's done in process, we'll post it here. We've got 17 of them so far. It's a lot of masterclasses in the last year. 18th and 20th was our last 2-day workshop plus notes. So if I click on the 20th, let me click on this for a second. If you go to the settings wheel, oh, there is no speed adjustment. All right. Well, I mean, if you truly wanted to watch it faster, then I would use a recorder. I use something called OBS Studio. So OBS Studio is just a raw recorder on your computer, and you can record the computer audio, and then you can play that in any other platform at whatever speed you want. So I mean, you'd have to like just play it, let it record, watch it. Otherwise, it's just like, look, this is like a movie. It's an hour and 46 minutes. I can't tell you how many movies that have taken me, 3 to 5 days to watch, because I'll get through like 20-minute segments, and then I've got to turn it off like late at night because I'm either falling asleep or, life happens. So, little bite-sized pieces, as they say. What's one way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time. So, but I don't think my pace is generally pretty slow. So I think it's funny if you are speeding my talking up to like 1.25, 1.5, that's going to be pretty fast. But I literally listen to all my podcasts at like 1.5 speed. So I get it. Time matters. All right. YouTube. Yep. Same thing. A lot of videos on YouTube as well. All right. So we have news at 10 o'clock. So for the day, here's what we're doing. Today at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time, daily profit play live masterclass. Okay, and then at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, I'll return live, youtube.com/Chris Pulver. If I can spell my own name for a final hour recap. So I've been my schedule's been getting filled up in the afternoons where it's tough to grab that final hour and have it not interrupted. So I'll get back. I did a video this week on TradingView, post some stuff on socials. So I'll get there. Yeah. So what I'll do for Daily Profit Play, if you're a member of Daily Profit Play, okay, I will post a link in your Daily Profit Play Telegram. So my general Telegram is here. Okay. Your Daily Profit Play alerts are here. So I will post the Zoom chat in here and say we're live, and that'll be at 1:30 p.m. Okay. And then for my 3 o'clock class, my live session on YouTube, I'll just post it here. Cool. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. News in 9 minutes. Any price action on the day? Not a ton. Let me bring up some real-time gamma. So while we've got a few minutes before the news, I'm curious what price action does. Let me bring up my, oops, looks like last night's sleep on the computer shut down the app. Let me find it here. Try it again. Okay. That's very kind, Bill. Christian, link for Daily Profit Play. Yeah, I've got a link. And I'm gonna do a little session on it in about maybe 15, 20 minutes. I think the link is still prosperitypub.com/100. I think that's our link for our latest. Yep, $11.97 for the year. So it's www.prosperitypub.com/100. That should be the direct. So Blake can post the link. You can copy and paste mine. It'll take you to this. And then I will say this. I'll talk about this in the next like 15, 20 minutes. But anybody that upgrades to Daily Profit Play as a lifetime member, okay, if you upgrade to a lifetime member, Waterfall Income, upgrade to lifetime member, Newsbreakers, lifetime member, Double Up Alerts, lifetime member, Pinch Point, lifetime member, okay, Project Options Edge, you're already a lifetime member. If you upgrade to any of my services as a lifetime member, I will give you a $500 course included, which is my practical options course. Okay. This is where this is to me, I don't think a lot of other, franchises have this. I don't think a lot of other offerings have this, where this is solely dedicated to prerequisite education, right? Foundational education. So I don't just have like, oh, here's material on that strategy for that one service, right? If I've got master classes and, how-tos and PDFs and things like that directly related to the strategy, I have that in the classroom already. Practical options is I built this for anybody that wants to learn options faster. Okay. Options can be intimidating. There's a weird language to learn. There's weird terminologies. There's weird strategy names. Understand the dynamics of how price and time and volatility play out in an option trade from start to finish. We literally have trades now we can take same day. We have trades that can go out years. You can go up to like 700 and some days out for expirations now, right? So from 0 day to 770 days, the options trade itself is the same thing, but there's a lot of mechanics to understand. So my point is, you can think about all that stuff and go buy the book and, here's the exact boring definition of what a call option is versus a put option, or you can think of it from this perspective. And this is how I taught myself options, 15 years ago. If I want to do something in the market, how can I trade it? If I want to be bullish in the market, how can I express that with something that is risk defined and plain, whatever my probability profit is, And that's my trade that I know ahead of time before I ever execute a trade. I know my probability of profit. I know where price has to be for me to make money. I know where my risk is at. I know that price could go to infinity or to zero, and I'm going to risk a certain amount. I'm going to make a certain amount, and I can take thousands and thousands and thousands of those trades. I never blow up my account trading options because it is risk defined. That's my style. So I built practical options for that reason. If you want to be bullish, there's multiple strategies to do that are pretty straightforward. If you want to be bearish, there's multiple strategies to do that. If you want to trade the market sideways, there's ways to do that. So, like I said, lifetime upgrade to any of these services, I give you a full course. It's $497 that I sell online. I've done this a la carte for the last couple of years. Just food for thought. Let's see. Take the 50%, Sean. Nice. Okay. Cool. Thanks, Blake. All right. News in 5 minutes. Here's real-time gamma. We're sitting at one of the thicker spots here around 6880. We do have a gamma up towards the 100% ATR, which is 6900. My call side again is 6920. So we opened up at 66. Could we get to 20 and have a 50 plus point move on the day? That'd be close to a doubling of what the market maker move expected was for today. So 2 levels I'd be watching: 6900 and potentially a gap fill or the positive and negative gamma pivot right around that 6845. Okay. And if the news gets things jumping in the next 4 minutes, we'll see what price does. But if we get a big push in price, let's say price pops up here to the 100% ATR, we might get a fill at that 6920 handle, which is fine. I get filled for $1. And if price moves up there and then falls back down, that dollar will quickly go in our favor. Okay. But this is why I didn't chase the trade this morning. All right. So we'll let the news come in. We'll let it marinate for maybe 5-10 minutes. See if we're getting a fill this morning on daily profit play. Thickest gamma level is current price 6880. We hit the 50% ATR. Okay. So where would be my plus minus on the day? If market makers do their job and we have an efficient market today, then the open price is 66. We should go no higher than about 96. So we could find it, right? We could find 96. We could find 6,900, but we shouldn't close above it. So if we can find that, great. We're just little stones throw away from the 69.22, 69.23 all-time highs. Can we get there today? I mean, sure, anything's possible. But that's also why we have a defense trade. Because the VIX, if we're going up in price, the VIX should not be going higher, right? So this VIX spiked to 16.18, 16.19. That should be a pretty good measurement. So that's our high at 16.18, which is just over 1%, like barely 1.01. And we've already measured out our trade. So unless the VIX goes higher than this, I wouldn't have to make an adjustment to my defense trades. Okay. Yeah, it's pending. It's a pending order this morning, Karen. I didn't get filled yet, but I'm waiting to see if we get news to push price, give us a little bit of direction, maybe pulling a fill today. Oops. DPP is not a stock. SPX is. So pending order, trading at 45 cents right now. But when I put this trade on this morning, it was only offering 50 to 55 cents. So it was quite a bit out of the money, which was by design. All right. And we'll get it figured out. Okay, 1 minute before the news. Take a sip of this delicious home barista coffee. Why go to Starbucks? I don't even drink caffeine. It's all decaf. All right, let's see. News is coming in 1 minute. Take a look at Bloomberg. Let's see if we get some real-time news today. Let's see if this updates. Everyone hear about the little merger that could be happening? Netflix, Warner Brothers, that could be an HBO Max and Netflix merger. Let's see. All-time highs traders' appetite for risk is fueled by expected rate cuts. We know. CME watch tool. Okay, just poke some highs. News is out. We'll see what the actual data reads. Let's see here. There's your core PCE. Ooh, baby, that thing lit right up. 2.9 is forecasted. This shows 2.8, but I had 2.9 on the calendar from Bloomberg. Came in 2.8. Month over month was forecasted the same. Month over month PCE 0.2 forecast came in 0.2. Year over year was, I had 2.9, printed 2.8. Let's go here. So right now, all this data is coming out at 10. Previous was 2.9. Forecast 2.9 came in 2.8. So that is an improvement. Month over month forecasted 0.2. Previous 0.2 came in 0.2. But that's an improvement. I mean, it's 1/10 of 1%. Does the market get super excited about that? I don't know. Consumer expectations, a little bit higher. 1 and 5 year inflation expectations, 4.1, 3.2. Consumer sentiment, 53.3, a little bit higher than previous at 51. This is like one of the worst readings we've had since like 2022's bear market. Year over year. So not the core, which is kind of the Fed's primary gauge is core PCE, but we had the year over year, month over month. Came in as expected on the monthly. 2.7 was the previous. Forecasted 2.8, came in 2.8. So PCE year over year, 1/10 increase from previous, but forecasted to be the same. And then a slight improvement in the core PCE, which is supposed to be what the Fed is using as a primary gauge of inflation. Okay, Fed watch tool. This is showing that next week's rate decision on Wednesday is pretty much baked in. It was already baked in. Well, the weird part about the market volatility for the last 2-3 weeks has been the market was all of a sudden thinking, oh my gosh, the Fed might not cut rates in December. And that was the big hissy fit that the market had. And then we had that huge sell off on November 20th, and the market pivoted right back to they're going to cut in December. I want to see if there's another potential rate cut in. Yeah, so this is going to be when Powell's done. If this is accurate, we see a cut next week, Wednesday, a pause through the first part of 2026, and then Powell steps down. His Fed chair position will stop, I believe, May. We just had a take profit hit on waterfall, from what I can tell. Price is going a little bit higher. Let's see if we get filled on daily profit play. We're trading at 63 cents right now. We're giving ourselves plenty of wiggle room here. We'll see if that gets filled. If price reaches like 6,900 this morning, we might get filled on that trade. So I'm going to keep a close eye on that for DPP. Waterfall, December 31st expiration, 20 cents. Let's see where this one was. This might have been a 50 center or 70 center. Let me see where this is at. SPX. This was a trade for 70 cents, closed for 20. Just grabbed a quick $50 right there. Waterfall strategy 2. I'll update that. Blake, if you got a bounce, dude, do your thing. I'll take it. I've got the slides up and running, so I'll just keep going. Good luck with the appointment. I know it's important. Every doctor's appointment is important for the baby. All right, so trade number. This is a 6230. This is trade number 123. Today's date is the 5th. Don't want to forget that. Profit. Okay, nice little winner there. I'm going to update this for our tracker. Okay, so waterfall income update, waterfall income, trade management. Trade number 123, SPX. Profit target hit. Entry was 70 cents. Closed for 20 cents. Okay, closed out. RSP just hit 192.45. I believe that's back to all-time highs. Nice little subtle rotation going into the end of the year. Not giving Mag 7 all the love. Trade number 123, Sean. Trade number 123. So let me see here. It should have been filled for 70 cents. 55. I'm gonna start cleaning it. This one, we took profit on this one. December 31st, 62.30. This one for, yep, close this one down for 20 cents. 20 cents. Can I get 15? Feel it, lovely fill. 15 no, but 20 yes. Filled at 20. This one we already closed out. Okay. So all right. So those slightly higher strikes, I'm getting a lot of those closed out. This one, I mean, this one for 60, it's like I'm up 40 cents out of our max 50. It's like I don't mind protecting some of these profits. Can I get this one closed out for, 5 cents? Take the profit, get the buying power back. See if I get 40 out of 50 cents here. Not yet. All right, I'll cancel that one for now. But anyway, these are, open positions. So closing out for waterfall, a couple of profits. This one, if I can pull this one for like 10 cents, this one I want to be up closer to 50 to $60. This one I want to be up. This one I doubled up on the size. I like the strikes into January. 50 cents just should be able. I mean, I'm up. Should be trading for like what, 10 cent? Let's see if I can get out here for 10 cents. So not closing yet. All right. Check a few more. So the good thing is we are sitting in a bunch of profit on waterfall income. This one's up 42% of max credit, 53% of max credit. That one's the one that just closed out that I just issued the alert for. This trades up 80% of max credit. This one is up 60% of max credit, 80% of max credit, 60% of max credit. Yeah, like these all look pretty good. We've closed out the higher strikes like our 6400s. Like this one is for 70 cents. If I can close this one down for, ideally, I'd love to close this one down for like $50. So 20-cent debit. Put this one at a 20-cent debit. Okay, price action for right now. Daily profit play still not filling. That's okay. We got a little bit of direction. My strikes at 69.20, which is close to the VIX box high. It's still just kind of a slow grind for the morning. So I'm just gonna hang out. Like price started at 66. It's up to 92. I mean, if we go to 96, that's a 30-point move in the day. That could be where things kind of stall just because that was a market maker move. Yeah, Sean. So trade number 123, 70-cent credit close for 20 cents. Trade number 123. I just put that. That should be in your Telegram update as well as inside your alerts for waterfall income. Got it. Constant income, smooth equity curve. You know it. That is trade number. I mean, I don't even know now. I want to say that's trade number like 106 or 107 that we've had for winners. I think we're like 106 for 111. 95% winners. Not bad. I can double check that. Um, yeah, I mean, we're doing just fine. Okay. So 6,900 ATR. I mean, keep an eye on this one. We might actually get, I mean, if Price is able to get to 6,900 today, we might get filled on daily profit play. If Price has one of those kind of directional days, keep in mind that our all-time highs are at 69.22. We have a broken wing butterfly at 69.35 to 40. That's a defense trade that still should be safe based on our VIX values. So on the upside, it's like we shouldn't really exceed like a 1% move on the day. But it's lovely to know that if that is where we're trying to get to, that our defense trade should be positioned for number one, a fill defense. And, keep an eye on that. Like, I mean, the VIX box high is at 69.25. So I don't want to see Price stay there for the day. But anyway, just give us some time. I think we're still looking pretty good. So markets widening out a little bit from the week. Still an up week. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, Dynamic Trend, they built me a zero DT platform, and I spent time with a Tanuki trade yesterday. Let me see if I can find that in here. So let's go Tanuki trade. So here's, I mean, the big gamma exposure tape for zero DT is 6,900. That's where the biggest level is. We're right there. Like your SPX. So I mean, I'm already in. Dynamic Trend built me my own like zero DT. So I'm very thankful for them building that out. It's it's offered up where if you want it, you can have it. It's a typically like a $3,600 membership that I paid for years, and I've done that since I was a institutional side. But I've done it as a retail trader because I use it for a lot more than just zero DT. But they built me a zero DT platform. So this that I see every single day for typical option flows, gamma flows, real time price action, real time gamma levels. This is $945. I think that's an exclusive like bundle for me. So I'm very thankful for the team for building that for me. And I've used this stuff for 6 years. This is like one of the key reasons that I decided that zero DT would work. Like I have to have an idea where prices are going to go for the day. Right. So what you don't see this morning is you don't see any sell side gamma. Like it is all, we're in positive gamma, which means the market has basically a floor underneath it and we're drifting higher to the resistance levels. So today was more of a directional day, and that's okay. But is it directional to, infinity? No, it's directional based on probably a market maker move. It's directional maybe up to about that VIX level at 16.19. And, if you're going to trade every day, it's like if you're looking at reps to take trades every single day, it's nice to know that number one, you have a directional flow in real time. This also for like double ups, this is what helps me put in some of those profit traps on double ups because we're going to stick to this level. You can make really good profit there. If it comes back down to, center on the day, you can put a butterfly trap there. You can make a ton of profit on the day. So a couple of profit traps can help. So, but yeah, Gex data available for bar chart. Is that free and live? I feel like that's got to be delayed. I don't think anybody's offering gamma for free. I mean, my Tanuki trade, I'm an ambassador for them. I mean, I pay like $400 or $500 a year. And there's stuff is pretty good. Like this web app is live. This is live gamma. One thing I did with the team yesterday, I met with them for about an hour. So this is real time gamma. This is real time gamma. What I thought was kind of cool is I did a option screener with them, and if I go into my filters, all I'm looking for is I want liquidity for options that are highly liquid. Okay, if we're looking for, um, here's an example. Okay, just positive gamma. So there's a lot of stocks right here that show positive gamma. Okay, I'm interested in how many stocks do we have that have like, first and monthly, or first and monthly in like every GEX, where gamma is the accelerator that drives prices and drives deltas and all the fancy Greeks, which means you have direction. So gamma is the reason that price can go higher or lower faster, right? So what I have here is a list of stocks that in one click, it's like, do we have positive gamma squeezes, right? So if I go minimum liquidity, 5-star, now my list gets a little bit smaller. Okay. And what I'm looking for on positive gamma is, do I have any that line up with not only prices above its first level of gamma, so showing like we're in like a gamma squeeze, but do we have multiple? So like Amazon, candidate for upside. DraftKings, very good candidate for up. Palantir, everybody freaking knows that. Palantir, good candidate for upside. SLV, good candidate for upside, although calls are expensive. There's certain strategies I would deploy. TSLL, I don't know what that is. TSLL. Oh no, that's a leverage directional play. No, thank you. I'll stay out of that. What else? Wells Fargo, Walmart, looking great to the upside. Okay, Wells Fargo financials, all-time highs. Like we are still, going higher. I mean, personally, it's like I'd love to buy the dip. We're in a pretty strong trend. So, I mean, if I want to do something on Wells Fargo, it's like make profit to the upside. Maybe, I mean, honestly, this might be like a ratio spread worthy trade in Project Options Edge. Keep my support levels around like the 80, 75, something along those lines. But, it's nice, like at a glance and a couple clicks, it's like I've got really good trades out of thousands of tickers. I've got a watch list and now it gives me something actionable. Okay. And then you've got earnings filters. You got skew, whether you want like puts and call skews, which one pays more premium, so you can consider certain strategies. So anyway, there's a lot of ways to do it, but these Tanuki trades help me quite a bit. Dynamic Trend has helped me a lot. I've had this now for 6 years. The team is great, and they literally built me my own zero DT platform, which is kind of cool. Any comments on Apple with the executive? Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what that means. It's not good for Apple, that's for sure. But we're sitting here at all-time highs, and honestly, I feel like that shakeup might be like something weird internally, where they're like, you know what, let's do our own startup. That's probably what it means. I mean, people have left NVIDIA to do startups. People left Apple and Google and Yahoo to do startups. It's like it's probably just going to be our separate venture. I'm sure their non-competes are brutal and cutthroat, but non-competes don't really have the same clout that they did years ago when they were ruled to be. I think it was it the FTC that made the ruling like non-competes, like you can't do that. Like you can't keep people from working in the industry with the skill set they have. So I'm sure there's certain ramifications of, maybe they can enforce like a 12-month non-compete, but you can't hold people for longer than that. So anyway, long story short, I don't really know. Price action hasn't really done anything to derail this. And honestly, like there's pretty strong support for Apple as far as like the bigger picture. They're getting into the AI space. They have tons of cash to do whatever they want. So I just think that, I've said this for a long time in Apple, they're never the first to do anything. They just typically get into the space and then they become really good at it. So if Apple wants to be in the AI space rather than just like CapEx spend and, throw money at AI, it's like they'll just figure out their pace. They'll figure out what they want to spend it on. They'll figure out where their mergers are at, and they'll position themselves into probably be one of the leaders in tech and probably one of the leaders in AI. And I respect that about them. It's like people want like cutting edge, and they want they want the Nvidias, and they want the whatever. They want the runners, right? They want the hot, crazy pumping stocks. But I also like that Apple's a little bit lower volatility and all that stuff, and it typically has a lot of resilience built into it. So, and then on the upside of Apple, let's make sure that there actually is some discounted cash flow that looks pretty promising. Okay, surprisingly, the Snowflake is not that great. High level of debt, insider selling, earnings are going to grow. That's fine. Price earnings probably in the 30s, 37 times earnings. But this is where a lot of big tech is at. It's still considered, slightly overvalued. This is why we've been looking at like earnings are priced to perfection. It's hard for a $4 trillion company to keep blowing away expectations. It's hard for a $5 trillion company to keep blowing away expectations. Has it been happening? For the most part, yes. But I do think that there is a reality of an earnings compression at some point that's going to drive these prices back down. Am I bearish? No. Like, I don't want to be bearish. What I'd rather do is like, look, if Apple comes back to 225, I'd gladly buy it. If I can get a discount into the hundreds, I'd gladly buy it. Right? I mean, look at Mag 7 for a second. Let's go Apple. So fair market value 224. Amazon. Okay. Snowflake looks pretty good. Price to earnings, like all Mag 7s are priced in the 30s for price to earnings. This is what I love. Amazon has more upside. Discounted cash flow 304. AWS, one of the biggest revenue generators for Amazon. Logistically, they've literally changed the world. Amazon's been one of my favorite stocks for a while. Anybody that's asked me, what do I want to do in the stock market? I would say if you want to buy something every month or every quarter, buy one share of Amazon every month or every quarter, whatever you can afford. Like, toss it in there. I think you're going to go up. I had a doctor friend of mine that did that for the last couple of years, and he's up like 50 something percent. So yeah, it works. Anyway, that's Amazon. Let's go. What else? Meta, Microsoft. Meta. Snowflake looks decent. They're a cash cow. They're spending a ton of money. They've cut out some of the metaverse stuff. Their price earnings at 28.5 earnings, but fair value 800 plus. This little discount we saw on Meta recently back into the 580s. It's a good discount, right? We're back up to 661. They had a big announcement. They're trimming back their metaverse spend, which was billions of dollars, but fair value 837. So there's still upside on these freaking Mag 7 stocks. Microsoft, ridiculous Snowflake analysis. Price to earnings 34 times. Still has upside. Like this is why, like, you can't fade this stuff. You can't fade AI. You can't fade Mag 7. Buy discounts. Position for, like, sell puts, do ratio spreads. These are great companies. Yes, they'll be volatile if we have an earnings compression, but they make a crap ton of money. Nvidia, Snowflake's decent. A lot of news. 45 times earnings. Different, right? But after they split, I mean, we've still seen the stock go from like $90 to 180, 200. I mean, it was over $200. It more than doubled this year from the April lows. Tesla. Tesla's valuation, discounted cash flow, ridiculous, right? This is where people hate Tesla. It's so overvalued. I get it. This is what makes me nervous about Tesla. But I also think that Tesla is this weird treatment by the market where it's not treated like a car company. It's not a car company. So it's always traded at a premium. It does have high volatility. But if this, AI stuff and, whatever, dark factories that we have in China or we see in China, if all of a sudden we have a fully automated factory for, cars or batteries or AI chips or whatever Tesla's doing in the next 12 months, something tells me the stock still does well. I am, selling a lot of puts at like 200, ownership in the 180s, 170s. Like, I'll take a huge discount on Tesla. I just don't know if we're going to get it. But this is what I'm saying. Like, it's not the narrative you want to short. Like, I would not short. Would you short tech in the late 90s? I don't think this is like the late 90s, because we actually have companies that like rule the world and they make money and they can afford to spend billions of dollars. But at some point it comes at a cost where you'll have an earnings compression. All right, we'll see. Yeah, so I just did all those, right? So here we are, creeping up towards that 100% ATR, 6,900 today. Remember, 6,896 would be that plus or minus on the day. We might still not get filled for daily profit play. It is trading for 60 cents. I'm not going to, you know, I mean, if I wanted 60 cents that badly, I can get the trade in for 55 or 60 cents and hold it till the end of the day. Do I think that the levels are safe? I do, right? Like if you want 55 cents so bad today, you can take it. Get the trade that I put in with the same strikes, 69.20 by 25. It's not a bad trade, but you're risking, 450 or so to make 50 cents, which isn't a bad thing when your probability of profit is pretty high, but it's still not the trade that I want as far as reward to risk today. So my delta is a 12 delta on the call side. I don't think that we will necessarily breach. Could it? Yeah, we could, I guess, but based on what I'm seeing in real time, it's like we probably won't get to 69.20 today. There's no gamma up here. We'd have to have like a big fat directional push. We would go double the market maker move today. So I'm throwing it out there. Like if you want 50 cents today so badly, it's probably a high percentage trade. If you want to increase, and here's one way to consider, if I did the 20 by 25 and I go a little bit higher on the put side, 55 by 60. Oops, I just switch that around. There. So if I did a higher delta on the put side, I could still get $1 today. But if price drops at all, comes back and fills the gap, I'm getting a lot closer to price on the put side. So, realistically, I mean, this was my initial put side trade, way down here. But if you want, some trade today, like I still think my call side looks pretty good. My put side, if you're willing to go a little bit higher, like a 68, 40, and 35. I mean, the gap was 58. 35 is the 50% ATR. Like, just, it's fine. But what have we done from the open? If this is yesterday's close and we're, pushing up on the call side, I always want my daily profit play to feel safe. Always. Right? My least favorite thing is taking a trade where it's like, oh my gosh, our call side is threatened right away, or our put side is threatened right away. I want my daily profit play to feel safe. Okay. All right. Let me see. I don't know if I'm going to get something juicy to the upside. I probably won't. If I did that's 30 cents. Let me try something here. 15, 20. What's this trade for? Garbage. 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 So even a broken wing's not great. If I want to get a little bit frothier, like 69.20 by 30. So 50 cents, but I'm risking 950. That's a big risk on the day. Get $1, pretty safe trades, but not at the defense highs. So it's okay. Like I'm not forcing a trade. If we creep up to 6,900, 6,905, we could still get a chance to get filled. Add $1. We'll see. But not going to force it. Okay. Okay. Jones says, I just joined Daily Profit Play Alerts. How do I join the masterclass today? Yep. If you join the alerts, you'll have so you have Telegram for my Daily Profit Play Alerts as a member, right? So to join the class today, I will post the Zoom link inside that Telegram. Yep. So you can go into your classroom, click on the link. I'll post the Zoom chat inside Telegram for members as well. Cool. All right. So on that note, let's talk about a little daily profit play. Class is at 1:30 p.m. today. So let's dive in. So I've done this presentation before, but I'm going to do it live. We've got some new members in the room, so let's chat it up. Okay. So we develop tools and strategies to the best of our ability. No one can guarantee the future. Obviously, this is trading. There's a risk of loss when trading. Past performance not indicative of future results. We're talking live published alerts, live trades from August of 2024 into current. I feel like that needs to be updated. We've been trading live, obviously, like to today. Win rate's been 89. My track record right now is 89.2% winners. Over 477 winners, 58 losses. 89.2% winners over the last year and a half. and we're taking these trades same day. So our return's about 14% on the same day hold. That's 14% return on risk. Okay. So there will be losing trades. I wish I could say that I'm 100% undefeated in this system, but I'm not. But we have some pretty solid profits. Like I said, since this week's trading back to like September, I'm up almost $6,000 in the service. Just the daily profit play grind. No system or strategy prints out winning trades 100% of the time. The purpose of my work is to give folks an edge in the markets. Most importantly, this is about managing risk. Please don't trade with money you can't afford to lose. I have traders reach out to me all the time. Chris, I've got $5,000 and I trade daily profit play. Sure, but you're taking probably the minimum of like a $400 risk every day. That's a little much for a 5K account, a little much for a 10K account. We can trade different instruments. You can trade futures. We can trade, S&P like the SPY. You can trade it differently. We'll get to more of that in the masterclass stuff today if I've got anybody that has small accounts and wants to, tighten up risk a little bit. Okay. All right. So today we're going to talk about a trade idea that could be worth more than about $100 each and every day. We do this stuff every single day. Typically, my winners are between 50 and $100. Okay. In fact, if things go as I expect, it should hit our account automatically within about 90 minutes of the trading day. All we have to do is set the position around 9:35 in the morning, let the market take a few points in either direction. And as long as nothing crazy happens with an extreme move, we should see about $100 or so or more in our account within about